TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Memories of Hogan at the time. What was he like?
I don't know.
Did you get along with him? I mean,
no, actually, I think Buzz had problems with Hogan back, steroid related. Buzz owed him money for steroids from before I even knew Buzz. And somehow, Buzz and I are put in the same picture a lot of times, you know. A lot of people thought Buzz and I were brothers. I mean, blood brothers, but Hogan, I don't really know him that well, you know. I know that, you know, he never wanted to work with me as Doink. Sad. But it is what it is.
Do you consider him one of the boys, or do you consider Hogan by himself? And
you know what? He's got his circle of friends, you know, and I'm sure that they consider him the epitome of, you know, the boys. But no, I personally, I don't. You know, I'm not going to say anything nasty about the guy, but I don't even know him.
In '85, you wound up in WWF. How did that come about?
Well, Roddy, George Scott was the booker, and Roddy got me booked. So I started in January of '85, and the schedule was hectic. I can remember I worked 120 days without a day off. It was wild. It was crazy. And yeah, it was rough. A lot of partying, a lot of drugs. Yeah, a lot of drugs.
What was your drug of choice back then? Just coke or?
Whatever, throw it on the table, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the road schedule. What would be a typical day for you as far as travel and?
For WWF?
Yeah, from back in the day.
Oh man.
Like in '85 or? In
'85. Get up. Get to the airport, usually an early flight. Get to your destination, check in. Get some sleep. Maybe get to the gym. Then if you had to drive, you get in the car and get to the arena. Sometimes wherever you're staying, you had to drive maybe 150 miles, you know. And then, you know, next day do the whole thing again. Usually after the show, so, you know, it's when the party starts, you know.
Right.
That's when I was most alive, you know. I get done working, get that sweat kicking, and I was awake. You know, I couldn't go back to my room and watch CNN and go to sleep. I was partying.
We're just talking about the road schedule in WWF. Did it ever get you to where you were in a crack early on in '85 around this time period, or
smoking crack?
No. Were you ever going to crack as far as like being on the road?
No. It was just real hectic, you know. It was no time for yourself, you know. It just wore on you, you know.
Right.
120 days straight on the road, without a day off. It's rough. You know.
What are your memories of Vince McMahon, Jr.?
Hey, he gave me a heck of a break, you know.
From this time period, before you went in and worked as Doink.
Oh, from wrestling.
Yeah, when you first went into the company.
He just.
Could you see the writing on the wall when it came to the territories disappearing as Vince was taking different key guys, or?
Yeah.
You know, it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Memories of some of your road trips in WWF. Early on, the first time.
Yeah. You know, Don Morocco and I were making a trip from Newark to Binghamton, New York. No, we were going on the other side of Binghamton, and snowing like heck, you know. I think it was February, and hit this snowstorm, and I'm driving his car, and we hit a patch of ice and started doing 360s down the freeway and totaled the car. Missed the show, but we're both okay. Yeah. Remember that night.
Who were some of the guys you really liked to travel with besides Morocco around this time?
Bret. Bret was there. I traveled with Bret. Um, Barry Orton. I used to travel with Barry Orton.
Right.
And Roddy. And I traveled with George Wells too a little bit.
Memories of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Just always a comedian. He's always a comedian, always working.
Right. Memories of the Iron Sheik.
He's a freaking goofball. Off the wall goofball.
Even back then?
Oh God, always. Always.
Because I know him now pretty well, and he's definitely out there.
He is out there.
Thoughts on him today? I don't know if you follow anything that he's done over the last couple of years, but he's pretty popular among Howard Stern fans and the internet.
Yeah, I see that. I saw a little piece on YouTube. I saw him smoking crack on YouTube.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. It might have been even from our interview. I don't even know.
Oh, was it?
It could be.
He was smoking crack on right on the set, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Memories of Paul Orndorff.
Paul was a very respectable guy. I was around Paul in Georgia, and then I was around Paul in WWF, around WrestleMania 1. Paul was kind of stayed to himself a lot, as far as I wasn't really around Paul outside of the arena. But yeah, I always liked Paul. Worked out with him a few times in the gym.
Why did you end up leaving WWF early on?
I think I was missing some shows and just partying too much.
All right.
Yeah.
Did they fire you or did you quit?
No, they never fired me. They just cut way back on my bookings. They sent me overseas a lot. I went to Egypt,
I think from there you went back to Charlotte, I believe, right?
And from there I went back to Oregon.
Again, okay. How did you wind back in Charlotte?
No, I was in Charlotte before. I was just in Charlotte for a short period of time before I went to Georgia.
Do you think that if you stayed in Charlotte, you would have had a bigger push with Arn?
I wasn't in Charlotte with Arn.
Okay, I'm getting my notes a little bit confused.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
TitleMatchNetwork.com